Well, back then, making films was just me with a cheap video camera following the guys around. And so I just shot who I knew, and I knew Rob, and Rob introduced me to Kelly, and all those guys were just on their way up. And so I filmed them, and it ended up being the biggest blessing in the world for me.
If somebody got a part in Taylor Steele movie or even Wave, it was almost like that blended credibility to sponsorship and a career.
Probably the original Momentum is probably my favorite, just because it was like it was a start. You know, it was a start for Taylor as a filmmaker, really starting to come into his own and getting really recognized. And then also, it was a start of all of us with our careers. I mean, that was like the first year that we really started taking off.
We didn't think that people would want to see these movies. We did. It was like literally you and your friends making these home Wayne's World videos, and it ended up being like a cult following.
Oh, for me it was massive. It was a way to get your surfing out in front of people's eyes. Every year there would be a new movie, and that was, you know, movies were hard to come by.
The second movie, we were about 19 years old. That was the year we kind of started working as a cohesive group. We all had the same goal, especially with Taylor's movies. That kind of brought us together.
Those videos in the end were really what made my whole career.
To do something like this, to get us to all go somewhere and be like isolated, you need to spend 10 days, just reconnect with everyone.
You will find.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Kane.
Advice for myself 20 years ago, I'd probably ride a little bit different boards, maybe a couple inches shorter.
20 years ago, my advice to myself.
Let's go video some service. Yeah, man.
Just not take everything heavy. When I was younger, I took things especially really heavy into heart.
What advice I would give myself? Take it easy. There's more time than you think.
What did you borrow to place on the grave? You're not alone.
Well, I mean, I was a kid surfing Seaside when I was 15, and Taylor was down there. Just started showing up with a little crappy little video camera and shooting. So I started talking to him. He was working on his high school project called Seaside and Beyond. That was the only time I had the finishing section in one of his movies. Proud of it. That's my claim to fame.
For us, it was like Taylor's documenting something no one else is. You know, if nobody else is going to do it, and he's going to be there with us, and like, this is cool. It's great, you know. It's just, for us, it's a scrapbook of our lives and the time that we spent together.
I was probably the luckiest kid in the world living right at Pipeline when I was 12. All the boys would stay in my yard. I had no idea at the time that that was going to be the Momentum generation. You know, it all started there. The first memory I had of Taylor was this kid from California with his little video camera and his buddy that wore a helmet. and they lived in a van in front of my house.
I went down to Porto and filmed there for a couple weeks with all the guys, and then went to Hawaii and just got a van and slept in my van and just shot everything that happened at Pipe. I didn't shoot anywhere else and just shot Pipe. And by that I met Benji and Shane and all those guys.
It all came together pretty organically, you know, just because of mutual friends. And
That's what built our relationship and our group. That foundation was built at Benji's house.
Gave us a good reason to stay there a lot longer and spend more time on the North Shore in general, and even more importantly, right there at Pipeline and back door and off the wall. That's pretty much the only place we served every day.
Right next door was Jerry Lopez's house with Johnny Boys and Danes and Jerry and Derek and all that crew.
I mean, I was a 14-year-old kid watching all these young kids pulling the 10-foot waves at Pipeline and thinking, well, if they're doing it, I'm doing it, you know. And I think everyone had the same mindset. Every day was insane to watch footage. I mean, I think we were the first crew that really videoed each other and then went home and dissected it.
Hours and hours out of the day were accumulated into these insane videos, and it was just all of us.
We're talking VCR cameras where you take the VCR tape out and put it in your VCR, and Taylor would like edit it with 2 VCRs in my living room.
We'd watch the videos at night, and then it really turned into like an expectation. Like, Taylor's gonna film tomorrow, we're gonna surf this place, and he's gonna let us watch it at night, and you know, we can only watch it once.
Taylor's movies were a big deal. You know, back then it was one movie came out every year, and you had to have a section, and you had to work for it. He would put the pressure on you. You know, he'd make it known, like, hey, if you don't get a few more clips, like, you're not gonna have a part. I'm gonna have to share a part. I was always like, no, I want to share a part. I got my own part.
That was my goal, was to keep making surf movies. I really loved doing it. It slowly took off, and by the fact that sales were funding me to make another one, it was a success for me. There's just so much history and so many stories with everybody. It feels like we went to Porto last week.
Shaka.
I don't know if there'll ever be a group this tight and this big again, because we didn't have managers and coaches traveling with us. There was nothing to separate us. We were almost too much in each other's face.
Within like 2 seconds, everybody's back into their roles.
If one of us thinks he's better than the other, I mean, we even have the bald guy that has sold his soul to the devil years ago, and he's got like 400 world titles, and everyone on earth kisses his butt. But around our crew, it's like, you put him in his place all day long. I mean, he's just another one of the boys.
It's pretty nuts right there.
I mean, we grew up on the road together. We've been down and out and sick and tired, and we've been carried up the beach, put up on a pedestal. You know, everyone's had their moment where we were all there to like put that guy up. That's pretty cool.
If you can be a pro surfer your whole life, you're gonna be fortunate enough to not have to grow up to a certain extent. And what comes with that is, you know, just cracking jokes all day, and we're all good at that. So a trip like this it just brings you right back to those days, which is awesome.
I've always been the youngster of the group. You know, it's like being with all my older brothers, basically. And everybody's just super funny. We have endless amounts of stories, and it's funny. We got all kinds of inside jokes.
You have a group of good friends who surf with you all the time. You know, it's like the fountain of youth. There's no doubt about it.
You know, we all just want to surf every day. You know, my life still every day is guided by swells and wanting to go. And because of that, I think it gives all of us a reason to stay healthy and, you know, to set up our lives in a certain way where we have that availability.
A bunch of us now have families, and you know, life's gotten a little bit more serious for all of us. But then, you know, when we get together, it's just like old times where we just feel like a bunch of little kids again.
20 years from now, let's see, I'll be 55. Probably develop a mean cutback and some hurt hips and hurt knees and all that kind of jazz. But I don't think I'll be longboarding. It's one thing I know, I won't be good.
I don't think it'll be much different. I think Kelly will all get the best waves, and Benji will still be funny.
We're gonna be ridiculous. 50-year-old guys. I bet you Shane's still gonna be ripped. Kelly's still gonna be winning world titles.
Maybe then 60 will be the new 40. You know?
It'll be rad. Can't wait. Paddle out with all these guys when we're 60 and when we're 70. Like ride waves, just laugh and enjoy what surfing has given us.
I'll just be doing the family thing. I've really embraced that lifestyle I have now with my family. I love it. I love being a dad. Keeping a close eye on my beautiful daughters because they'll be little ladies by then.
Honestly, that's a long ways away. 20 years. Hopefully I'll be right where I am today. Just a happy person who is focused on surfing and raising their kids.
I'll be a dad. I'll be surfing with my kids, trying to stay fit as I can. We might not be riding the gnarliest waves in the world, but you know, there's just that slight bit of competition in us. And it's not a competition, it's just more like, hey, he's doing it, I can do it, you know, like, and that's what's so cool.
We're here at the 2012 Hermit Crab Race. Can do a hashtag. Go, 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 go. Oh, yeah, bring it home, baby. Go, go. That guy's
This guy was.